will generate more views.
We don't want to generate.
To also generate comments.
Yes. Nice.
Whenever you are ready.
Okay.
Are you playing Super Jackpot as well?
No.
Okay.
I'm too tired for that.
Good match.
Okay, good match. See you.
First one. So we can go?
Absolutely. Good match.
Hello. Just went down. It's here.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, but he's also playing, so that's nice. It's up to you. We can pull out his rest, but we're not gonna play Quartefinals. But for you, we can. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably just sign up to it.
Yeah, this is crazy. Stargate, what are you playing?
Ah, Jesus. Ah, ah.
They're all the same, right? You will carve or buffle? I will go with buffle.
Hi, everyone. We have. Is it working? Yeah. Okay. It just goes in and out. I don't know why. I love the microphone, but it doesn't connect very well. So I was just talking about how Seb goes through the process well, okay. I was more talking about how we decide that this is more on the easy take side of the double take matrix. And so I was just saying, I don't know if you heard that Thomas is definitely he's already decided he's going to take. And it's just about whether Seb thinks he's got enough rolls in the 36 bag to justify cubing. And I just think that double five and double six, once you see what they do, you probably don't need to look at what the bad rolls do. Okay, decides against it. 5-1 just coming out and then playing 23-22. No. Absolutely not. Would have just come out because I want to bring that back checker out. Okay, yeah, coming out is the idea. So where was I? Why am I confused? Coming out is a must. Oh, okay. So I wanted to play 23-22 with the one. And I'm trying to see why that's wrong. I can't really see it. I guess if you go to the 15, okay, that's wrong. So if you play 9 to 8, yikes. He's doing the same. I mean, I haven't seen it really. I mean, I can see that you get hit with 1-6, but is that the idea for playing 9 to 8 as opposed to 23-22? I don't know. Well, that will hit and come up. So there's not going to be a double now. Oh, he can double hit. I didn't see that. So clearly better. Christian thinks the 6-1 hurts too much. I'm not sure if that's the thing, but maybe. It wasn't quite strong, but it was a cube. Christian was right about that. So obviously better to double hit than to come up with the 1. Again, I've commentated on Thomas. I know he just looks. It doesn't mean anything about whether or not he's going to actually make that play, but he's perfectly happy to put the move on the board just to see what it looks like. And it doesn't mean that it's going to influence him in his play whatsoever. He just wants to see whilst he cogitates. And once he's seen, he rejects it, and then he puts back the move that he's going to make and hits the clock. So actually, Thomas has got some sort of advantage. Even after the double 3, we're just going to, I think we're going to turn down like doing something rash and just play 9 to 3. Right, so Thomas can just about handle a roll now, like 5-4, something like that, just playing 12-7, 9 to 5, and wait to see what Seb can produce. 6-3 is not as good as... It's a different version of it. Is he going to have to stack them all up? Yes. But of course, Seb's going to need a 5-1 or a 6, otherwise he's going to have to rely on like a 2-1. So even 3-1. 3-1 is unusual if he rolls it. 4-1 has to break something, I think. Ortu's just going to hit and cover. I didn't see why it was close to a cube because I didn't like Seb's position before the roll, but this is just a sort of a forced play. He's got nothing else he can do with the checkers other than shuffle them forward and maintain some sort of prime. So he's considering playing 7 to 5, but yeah, I didn't want to do that. I'm now questioning why is it so bad to play 7 to 5, seeing that if you let black roll, they can conceivably will or have to break the prime. So if black rolls like a 6-3, has to break the 8 point, which is what you want surely as white. So why is it so bad to hit? Well, because if you hit, black might have to break the prime anyway, is the answer, which I got to eventually. So he gets there, just checking. Sure, the pattern recognition play is just a hit. Can't see, I think that's a 3-1, which if 1-5, 1-3 would be absolute disaster. So I don't think Seb can do anything. Now he's going to make the 7 point. He's fine not to come up to the 22, 21 point because we can see that black has some rolls, but anything with a 6, apart from a 6-1, has to crack. Presumably that's going to keep it like that. I would just check that. He makes that play. It seems like it's right. Unfortunately, I have to end up looking at the equity, and I can see from 8-8-9 this is going to be a cube anyway. Would I have cubed as white? I'm not really sure I would have done. I might if this is a huge double, but I suppose once you see that you can roll a 1, that it's very, very strong. So me being very much on the take side of the equation, I would be very surprised if Thomas passes this because Seb's got 3 men behind a broken 5 prime. Immediate crackers, anything like 5-4, 5-3, 5-2, 4-3, not good numbers. That's already 8 numbers out of the whole distribution. And once you've got picked 8 numbers out the bag that are bad for your opponent, then you're well on the way to taking. And then you can add in double 5, which is a bit of a mixed blessing. You get to point on your opponent. You get to play 7-2, 6-1. But that's not a good roll because you have to open up the 6 point. And then you can consider 3-2. Would have to play 7-2, leaving a 6. Double 2, not great. 2-1, I think he would hit. Okay, so he's is that close to? It's almost taking. Ball play downgrades the take value, makes the double take equity higher, so less of a mistake to pass. Just considering what White would do with 2-1, I think he would just hit. Happy to hit, leave a 2 shot, but keep the 5 prime and give himself every chance of escaping. I think that's probably what he would do. And then double 6, probably 2 out and make the ace. Although I'm not sure about that either. And then double 4 is always a bad roll, wherever you are, and it is here. You have to just make the 2 and play 7-3 twice. And if that happens, black's like favourite, but probably not anywhere near a recube favourite. 6-5 is a good roll for Seb. 6-3 is the nuts. Okay, there was, I guess, the longer than he thought, I still thought he would take comfortably. I just don't really believe that pass. I don't know how to. I guess because I can see why I wouldn't pass, because I was already I'm not sure if it's a double side of the equation, which is clearly going to make me in favour of taking. So 4-3 just play 24, 21, 13-9, I think, normal. Thomas just wants to anchor up on the 18 or roll a 4-2 or double 2. That hits twice. Hits the guy on the 16 and don't think you're going to turn down the 11. And now there are many, many double takes from this position. I think that might save the... I still think, no, this is a double. It's a strong double, so I'm a little bit off, but no way can this be a pass. Just from the sense you get from the position, the feeling of it. 6-4 can... Oh, double 4. 6-4 would have double hit, but it's not. Double 4. So as powerful as that roll is, any 3 is kind of saving you. So what I would like probably is to hit twice. So we're going to switch. I don't know why that's the first one. I just switch immediately. Anyway, he's played 3. And then we're probably going to play 11-10. We need a builder on any checker that comes in on the 21 point. So computer confirms that's the best play. We have Bill. Very tough, this one. Hello, Justin. Hello, CMC. Hello, Casper. Don't blame him. Hi. 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 Enjoying the match, doing a bit of scouting. We're streaming Monte Carlo, including the UBC Contender Playoff. I think we know that, Bill. We're not going to miss that. So 6-3. How do you make these itty-bitty? What's the right itty-bitties? All these, meaningless kind of plays. What's the right thing to be doing? Well, obviously you want to make the 2. You can't do that. So what do? Do you try? You need to get the checkers in such a place that you can make the 2. Maybe also you want to cater for the 2-6 from the bar, which he will play by hitting bar 23, coming out to the 17 point. So maybe you want to try and reduce double hits. So this just hits with double hits with 2-4 double 2. 2-1 maybe you can duplicate, because 2-1 is going to be a good roll, which we're happy to make the 23 point with. So perhaps putting a checker on the 13 is an idea. Computer confirms. If you're going to do that, then the 6 is out. So duplicating 2-6 and 2-1, that's a beautiful play, making sense. This just makes double 2 extremely powerful. But you can argue that, well, he's not going to roll double 2 because it's half as likely as any of the other twos. So these take up a lot of bandwidth, these plays. I mean, if you let them, but you've got to find a way of working out what you want to do. I think he's just looking at the pattern of it rather than, maybe not. So he's going for the downside on double two, but okay. So the 2-6, he doesn't get a double shot. So 2-6 coming out to the 17, and that's why 16-13 was a better 3, because now you'd have 5s and 2s to hit that checker back, or combinations of. So he doesn't get to hit with the 2 anyway. 6 is going to make the 10 point. Seb just, he wants to point on the checker on the 2 point, but that probably isn't going to happen. So I think he's just going to have to leave that checker exposed. If he plays 17-6, difficult. Well, actually, interesting. It isn't bad to play 17-6, but I think most people would play this, try and give themselves a future. If you play 17-6, it's so hard to just bear your checkers in without leaving loads of shots. You got Amiri in the chat, and we got Paris. 16-13 doesn't dupe aces, it makes the mid. Andy. Six five. He's still looking at this. Could do with a little plussy on this analysis. Be nice. I don't know how to justify this, but I would be fine with just leaving the checker on the 11 point. I don't know how to. Obviously, computer confirms it's okay, but I would be okay with thinking it's not a mistake. I don't know how I could substantiate that feeling that I would have. I just wanted to see what the high analysis said of it, and now I'm not so sure what you do here, because if you make the 11, you have to play 13-12, and it seems like 6-5 is superior. Can you ever play 6-5 against this 5-point board yet? I haven't looked at the analysis yet. 11-8 just is back to the playing 17-6 with the 6-5, which, if I'm going to turn down the slot and 11, so is the XG play. Sometimes it depends how you want the follow-up to look. So if you play 11 and 5, you give yourself an easy route. You know how to play the checkers. If you get missed, if you get hit, you probably don't have difficulties. That's not going to make it the best play, because there's such a downside to being hit with the 14 numbers. But if you want an easy ride home, you go for this. I think if you want complications and not knowing exactly what to do, you play 13-12, 13-11. So he misses. He just bangs in the 2 point. It's a weird way that just absolutely makes it from the 10 point. So the 3 covers. The 5, you have to give something up. Don't think you want to play 6-1. Not immediately obvious to me why 13-8 is better than 11-6, but it probably is obvious to other people. So escaping clearly, misses. So this is that horrible feeling for white where you know you have to hit, but at any moment you can get smashed with like 4 shots. Well, it happens to be 4 shots here. And then you're dead, but you have to keep on hitting. You can't not hit and turn down trying to win the game. So I suppose you come up high. The 1 is optional. And the question is he going to hit with a 4-3? Probably not. You can just make the 9. What about this one? Are you going to hit? This is the number. Are you going to hit with this? Or what if you don't? So computer just ends up spitting out like they're all the same. I don't know. I don't care. But what is right, really? I mean, I know on 4-ply it thinks hitting, but the second play is a non-hit. If you don't want to get gammoned, you go for something like this. This is the play, not the play that loses the fewest, the least number of gammons is 13, 11, 9, 6. So we need to plus plays like that. So now we just run. I was going to say minimum shots, but if we get hit on the 9 point with 3-1 or double one, we have 4 returns. If we get hit on the 11 point, we have no returns. So that makes it an easy decision. So again, you have this uncomfortable thing, and actually it's not clear that you hit at all. This is what I find is the nightmare. I just panic. I don't know. Not panic, that's not right. I just have no idea. Feels like I don't want to hit here. It makes it so difficult with 7 checkers on the 6 point. Okay, he feels obligated to hit. It's not a mistake, really. Just comes right back up. Again, Seb's going to have those decisions whether to hit. I mean, 2-1, you're happy to hit. 2-1 is a delight, but other numbers are tricky. Well, that's easy enough. I don't think you're going to do anything fancy. And now, even though you're losing the game, you can breathe easy as white because you don't have those tricky decisions about hitting or not. Johnny Splash puts a little purple thingy. That's beautiful, Mr. Johnny Splash. Jay. Aim for outfit blocking points if you don't get hit. Yeah. Paris Dawn. Well, it is a lot safer. Downside to Seb's position is he doesn't fill it, is the gap. Otherwise, you know, of course we're losing, but we didn't do anything wrong. But we'd just love to have that terrible gap on the 4 point field. That's going to bring them in. Play 7 to 6 to 4. 2-1 is a dream. Double one we can cope with as well. Double two, nice. Just fill that gap. Kill your 5s. 2 is optional. I never do that, but I don't know. It's just the pattern thing. I know that you do that. You can do. I like 6-5-6-2, which is not right, but I like it. Okay, so there's a lot of pointers. 5-4. I thought it was coming. Tempted to just point on him, but of course not. Can't leave a shot. But get it over with. If he doesn't roll a 6, and then you get him out your hair. If he doesn't roll an immediate 6, and you just start clearing from the rear. But he's going. I don't know why, in fact. So with Seb, I think when he puts the move on the board, he has a tendency to actually make that move. So percentage chance of him making this already up to about 22%. Not to be too precise. Okay, he's not going to do it. But I think that's how Seb plays. He's just saying to himself, well, I'm just going to get pointed on. Unless he rolls 6-6, 5-5. Okay, maybe he's not saying that. Awkward kind of player, which isn't safe at all. So 4-3 can't be a good roll. Seb will stay. Smoothing out the distribution, playing 2-1 with a 1. Again, not great. I would take 2 off. I mean, he's running with 5s and 6s. But that's got to be fine to just do that. Yeah, there possibly were shots coming up, but not in this variation. You never know. Sometimes players make the blunder in the least blundersome move, which is what happened with Fernando in the last match, or the penultimate match of his quarterfinal. I'm assuming he's through. Well done, Fernando. He made a play that I don't think anyone would have made, and then made all the other plays correct. Did everything difficult. Did everything right that was difficult, and then made a mistake on something that wasn't. Which is, you know, you never know when the mistake is going to come. So Thomas immediately getting traction, taking a third man back, but this is super standard again. How many times have we seen this? Then the 5-4 making the bar. This is going to make the standard, make the 4 and the 11. It's not. I suppose you can't leave 6s and 5s. I looked at it a bit too quickly. I would do this. Honest governor. There's dupes 4s as well. So 5-4 is a double hitter. 4-2 is a double. 4-2, no, is not a double hitter. Just makes the point. 5-4 is a double hitter though, as I said. So you're happy, like, if he comes in with 6x and then you get to roll a 2, but he comes in with both, okay, but you can still roll a 2. You want to cover with a 2, not with a 4, not with a 9. That's perfect. Then you hit him off the point he next wants to make, deny the anchor, make the 4 point. Perfect. He likes it. He sees it like that, I can see. 2-1 just come up to the... What? It's not a... Yeah, it wasn't a 2-3. Bar 22 has to spread them. Threatening to make that 4 point, the broken 5 prime, so you certainly don't want to be on the 23 with both of them. But 2-1 you can certainly think about cubing, so 3-5-3 probably just not thinking about anything but making it. And there could be some rolls that cause the double. If that's 6-4, that could be one of them. It's a nasty one. You're just going to have to do that. Even though 4s are duplicated, you don't need much at 6 away, 5 away to cube. And I know the clue's in the equity. It's just easy. It doesn't mean it's a pass. Just takes. Standard. 6-5 can hit. 5-2 is a donk. I don't know what you do with this. You just 8 to 2013. I would have considered 8-1 and hated it. I would have liked to have slotted the 3 point, but probably wouldn't have had the guts. I mean, how can you play 2013 when you tell it, you tell everyone never leave the anchor? 8-1 is, well, 8-3. Okay. 24-22. It looks likely he plays. He's going to play 8-1 as well. Okay. I probably would have done that as well, but. Okay, 16-9. You can play 8-4, yes. Okay, a little bit better. Not ridiculous to play 16-9. So having the checker on the 1 point makes it difficult. We can see that now. But not when you roll 6-1. Amazing, amazing. So even if Thomas comes in, Seb's got something he can do. 3-2 might have to hit just to stave off the attack. Not super, super clear. God, we admire someone that has the guts to play bar 22 6-4 and put a fifth checker. Is it? It would be a fifth checker on the 4 point and a strip 6 point. That would be. That's what the computer thinks is the second play. So he does hit. Makes sense. Seb's just going to have to make the 8 point. No, he's not. This is much better. I didn't see it initially. Leaving nothing and putting the checker where you want it. Very nice. Can't work out. Is that Kalin doing the transcription, or is that someone? It's nothing. Looks nothing like him. 5-2s makes sense to run. Of course, the downside, the reason it's not so clear is that when you get hit, it's very, very painful for you. It does get hit. There's lots of G's here. Thomas has got an absolutely trashed position. 2-6. I suppose you're going to come out. And this is when he can hit with a 4, but he misses with... Okay, he doesn't. He hits. Now he's got those builders. He's got Thomas's checker on the ace point. 2-5's a really good roll. Although playing 6-1, the computer thought was close. He hits again. He's going to come out with a 4. How many times can Thomas come in? Again? feels like he's taken lessons from the Oliver Squire school of rolling. So lots of just anything. I just want to roll anything here. How about that? Are you going to come in again? You can't come in again. You can't come in again. Just want to get a double crossover here. Okay, you can't. Just make the 14 possibly. Now it'd be nice if the 14 was the 13, so that double 5 gives a double 5 closing out number. 3-5. Okay, well, I'm not really... Okay, he's sure. Doesn't matter if I'm not sure. I think I might have got tricked by the stack on the 13 point. I think that is Colleen, isn't it? I might have got tricked. I don't find this that easy, but I think the simple fact is you want to leave 17 shots instead of like a million. Have we got any comments? Johnny Splash. A lovely little green something. I don't know, respect to play. I mean, I don't know how difficult or not it is, but I lovely respect the bar 17 if it comes. I think he's got every chance of making it. I think he wants to. His logic is telling him to make it, but the pattern says play 13-8. But logic has to win out. Like he's way behind, but if you get missed, then you just leave. So you leave all 4s and 2s. It's 20. I think it's at 24 plus you leave 6, 5, 26. Could be 25. I'm not sure. No, it's 23. It's 25, isn't it? And that's too much compared to 17. Wow, he got me get missed either way. We're going to do some shenanigans here. No. We're just ahead in the race. Nothing fancy. Okay, so he's just not going to consider it. The split, just play 7-4. And Thomas, if he hits with a 3, I guess he's doing okay. So he's got to come out with the 4, no? Jay says the problem is that he knows he's behind in the race. Exactly. Bang on. So this just leaves 7s and 8s, so it's whatever. I don't know what it is, like 10, 11 shots. Can't be bothered to count them. Well, it's 12, isn't it? So this wouldn't be difficult for me once but I kind of thought it out in my head. I had the benefit of the 5-3 and the analysis to see it, but possibly I would still get this play quite easily. I just don't want to stay back because I'm going to get hit. I'm just trying to limit the number of hits because hits means being gammoned. I'm also 2-1 up. So I'm incentivized to save the gammon over actually winning the game. So this leaves like 12 shots. He misses. And we hate to play safe. We shouldn't. Okay. So not only is it a hit, but that checker on the 10 point is pretty nicely placed because it's not in that much danger. And now he can use it to build. He's going to have to roll quite precisely. He's going to have to roll a 5-1 or a 6-3. 5-3 he will point with some danger, leaving 5-3, 2-6, double 5. 2-1 he just makes a 10. And so Seb's got every chance of rolling something that at least will leave only a double shot. But he gets what he wants. That should be a game win. It's up to 80%. Seems like it's more, but it never is. 5-2, just 5-3 with the 3 seems like it's the biggest improvement with the 2, not with the 3, with the 2. Don't know why you would do that. You're not going to get a shot. Okay, fine, bit harsh, but just wasted a few pips. So 5-3, not bad. Just down, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much. He's limping, so he's down to 8.7%, but you never know. You never know. What do you do? 8-4? Well, 8-4 is one of them, and then the one was either... Yeah, okay. That's it. And I think it's just the tape blunder that's causing that temporary uplift in PR. Johnny Splash. So it kind of happened last game, and Seb rolled a 5-4, made the 20 point. Not this time. Suppose he's going to make the 9. Because it's nice to have the 9, 10, and 11. So don't turn it down. This just brings one around the corner, leaving 7s and 8s. Not necessarily. So yeah, if you play 14-14, you can unstack. So definitely not moving up with that 1. I wouldn't anyway. So Thomas has decided that the 5 is mandatory, and it's just like whether or not you leave more shots, or he didn't consider playing 13-8. 3-1 makes the 5. Seb, I would say, is favourite. Nice, you unstack, you make the 10. What more can you want? So Seb wants 6-5-4-3, stuff like that. Gets a 6-2. He's going to have to play 16. Yeah. Clear by quite a long way. Midpoint is stripped. Yeah, that's the point. I didn't say that bit. So this where you want to put the checker, so put it there. Double 4 just makes the 9 and the 2. A bit weird. Is this enough? Yeah. Kind of a gappy position, but I suppose on the strength of the pointing numbers on the 3-point. Winning chances are only 62. He's not. No, he is. Again, like, I'm happy with the take side. I don't know, like, I'm hoping I would double, but I'm very convinced more about the take side than the double side. I don't know whether other people see it like that. 12 in the zone, yeah. Yeah, there's only one checker back. That gives us a clue, but that checker is so badly placed on the 23-point. This is not a particularly active score, 5 away, 4 away. It's only barely better than a neutral score, I would say. So he doesn't, he doesn't, not just points on the 3-point. It's funny how all backgammon players do the same thing. Well, so I would just play 3 of them. They'll consider the last 3, which is probably going to be 9-6, but that's how I would play them. And now, dare we say it, I mean, okay, this is not, I don't think that's necessary, although we know the cube, we have the cube information. So if Thomas didn't think it was that strong, he would probably tend to go for the extra builder to try and make it strong on the next go. But we know that it was already strong enough. And after you roll double 3, you're going to be able to cube. I don't necessarily think it'll be a pass. Seb just needs to roll a 1. 4-3 is not enough, though. Not only is it not enough, it's like an astronomically size. I mean, it's one of the largest passes I've ever seen. Very little chance that he'll take this. And Thomas is just going to think about where on the too good, not too good spectrum it lies. But Bill thinks that he's hesitated because Seb is 4 away. Maybe. Yeah, I wasn't. The verdict says, so bad, no thank you before. Yeah. The verdict's always giving us his verdict. Okay, so just goes double pass. Simple. We predicted that. Just a standard like raise, fold kind of. But I guess he checked the flop there. Sort of, but should have bet. And just bet the river, and he folded. So double 2 is just going to make, but no, okay, I wouldn't, but that's fine. So we're 4 away. We're in kind of protection and aggression mode. We're a bit kind of Jekyll and Hyde. That's going to be delightfully making the 9 with the last 2, and then 4-1 we just make the better anchor. Seb's favourite must be. Big. He's going to have a little waggle and think. I wouldn't have stopped at all, but the equities suggest it must be quite close. So this looks like you're going to. I would favour going to the 20. Thankfully, I get a play right. For the small risk that it confers on. Yeah, I can see why I don't like that. I would just try and get that checker out. Go to the 20. You don't especially want a double stacked 9-point. But Seb's in a nice position. 2 has to come up. It's in danger. How close is this to a cube? Probably not enough. 5-1, just maybe 18. Not even maybe. Get missed. You're in a good spot. Don't get missed. How far away are you now? Play 11-9. Better to play 13-11. So further away, but I've got the benefit of looking at the analysis. Big blunder. This could be like one you get tricked into. And walking into a big blunder. I'm ahead in the race. You don't think about the 2-6 or the fans. It just wins the game. Nothing fancy. So I think the only reason it's not 1 is because he can roll double 6. It's just going to go double pass, and Seb's going to be 3 away. Thomas is 4 away. Sometimes you deserve easy rolls, easy moves. So at the moment, Seb's winning the game, and he's winning the PR. By quite a long way. Thomas is just over. I don't know Thomas that well, and maybe it's far from me to comment on, but I think he's a little bit of an over. He tends to maybe not play his best game when he overthinks, and which is also probably his great strength, which is why he can play like extremely well. Like I think in the the last UBC, he was like averaging under 2. Maybe he would just do better, like just playing his natural game. Easy enough for someone at the sidelines to say 6-2. You're very happy to make the 2-point. Very happy to make the 2-point. Very happy to make the 5, of course. So closing in at 4 away, 3 away, you don't need much. I'd say the fact that, okay, he's got the 5-point, Seb's got the 5-point and the 2-point maybe is enough compensation to stop cubing 4-3, maybe just 2 down. But either way, he's good. Something bizarre there with the analysis. I don't know why. Something bizarre happened with the 4-3. I don't know. Don't get it. Okay, 4-1. Lovely. When you can come in and you clean up those blots. So this is a pass. This is tricky. This is really tricky because you don't expect there to be a roll that converts your position into an automatic pass. So if he makes I'm not saying making the 7 is nice by any means, but there's every chance he's going to take. I don't think it'll be a big pass. It is. Wow. This is really, he might just pass. I mean, just needs to pass. Yeah. Okay, he sees it much quicker than I do. That's great foresight, just being able to see that there's a number there that you can't, that makes your position completely untenable. I didn't see it coming. There was no miscube, I don't think. I don't know what happened with the 4-3. It showed up as a blunder. But on the 4-ply analysis, it was like only 13. So he's going to hit and split with 3 away, 3 away. Bit of a weirdy old score here. Not necessarily true that you need that much more to take in gammonish positions. It's actually non-gammonish positions which you need a bit more to take. Non-gammonish positions, that's right. So he's just safeties that one up. It's the right play. Stacking another 5 checkers on the mid, but I guess you don't want to leave shots. What do you do with this 5-3? So you want to checker on the 8-point. Do you just come up to the 21, equal with the third, with 2 down? I did want to play 2 down, but then I saw that you could just play 24-21. 6-4 is going to make the bar happily. The bar is weak, I think. Like, it's just weak. It's difficult to develop from this structure with the 5-2-3, 4-2 perfect for. Well, he's not now. It's 3 away, 3 away. But in any case, you want that anchor. So you come up. He's going to go all the way. I wouldn't have done that. But it's better than my play. He's going to count and take it back, I assume. No, he doesn't. Okay. Always the case that when you get hit there, it's very punishing. What's he going to do with the 5? This is hideous. Well, if you leave the anchor, how bad can it be? You get hit on the... Oh, it is bad. They're tricky because sometimes you err on the side of, oh, I'm just going to play it into the 5-point or the 4-point, which was my first thought. Okay, so he gets to make the anchor and hit loose. So he's back where he was, basically. 4-1 hits. Could play 10-9. He just played that. You can play any of the ones, really. So that gives 4s, 3s, and 1s and 5s on the other side. So I can see why you wouldn't do that. Okay, point. And then just play 8-5, yeah. Still a builder on the 5-point, but you don't especially want to put it on the 5-point. That just gets it round and plays 10-6, bang. And now you're closing in on a cube. And I think at 3 away in a sort of non-gammonish position, your doubling points may be slightly lower than it is for money, as in you don't need quite as much, but you can't double this. I mean, the race is still contested. 3-1's really ugly. Just play 6 to 2 hitting. Yeah, Thomas's downs. His own player in the UBCs always down. Like by the second game, he's already down to 43 seconds, but that's how he likes to do it. Immediately comes out to the 14, but 8 to 2 was fine. So what, you just hit and make the... In fact, I had a game against Thomas last year in the UBC where it suddenly got really complicated and he was on his standard 40 seconds and he was like panicking. Checkers were going all over the place. I was like, shit, please don't time out. Double 5, perfectly understandable. I can't see Seb's also matching him for time pressure. I can certainly get behind playing them all out. But actually, Thomas is ahead, so he should have cleared the mid. But race must be... That makes it a lot easier for both of them. Not going to have difficult decisions. Is it going to be cubable? Can't be able to count. I just look at the analysis, look at the number, 0.616. So it's not quite there. So for money, that wouldn't be close to a cube. But here it's close, because take point's slightly higher. So doubling point must be slightly lower. Although I don't know why that is necessarily the case, but I just say it. You know, you can talk rubbish in life and just people don't always correct you. Get away with it. But after the 6-4, well, Thomas gained with a 6-5, so now it's a pass. Just going to be passed. So look, he's got 22%, which would be enough for money, I think, just thereabouts, be borderline. But here you need, I don't know, it can't be that much more than, I can't remember, it must be like 25, maybe it's 24, maybe it's 24% live cube. Dead cube, it's way higher, like could be, someone will know. But anyway, you never have dead cubes, so you don't need to think about dead cubes. All you're thinking about is the live cube take point. But all I know is it was way, way higher than 22%. You could see he had 22% there. He was way off being able to take. Anyway, so Seb goes 2 away, 3 away. Another 6-3. This time there's no hit in the outfield. Makes the 3 point. 6-4 is just happy to play 24-18, 13-9. And then getting a structure where... Possibly he can cube, but not immediately. 6-4 just run. Actually, 24-18, 39 is play I never make. Not a cube yet, but 5-1. Lots of cubes next go. Feeling the 6-4 is coming. 5-4. Is that enough? I like Thomas's position. Okay, he's not stopping. I'll go with him. Okay, there's a huge market loser. No cube icon came up. This is difficult. I hate these plays. Look how close it is between 18-13 and 8-3. But look how different the structure is. Tremendously difficult to... Yeah, Thomas does that. He's happy. He knows the time's ticking. So must be a cube now, and it's a pass. Massive. And it's DMP, basically, effective. Eric says this is a great match. It is. Okay, Seb doesn't cube. He's a non-cuber. 24-21, 13-11. Simple. Just gonna, yeah, of course. Thomas cubes. Fine, he's a cuber. It is correct. 4-2, massive. Funny thing is, okay, 2-6, massive return as well. But what you don't really want at DMP is a blitzy situation, because when the blitz fails, you have a lot of games that you lose. You want just a prime sort of game where you don't have the failed blitzes that are going to make you lose the game. So gets away with it, Seb gets away with not being hit, and now he just wants to safety the checker, which he can't do, but he can make the 4 point. And what's the best use? Just playing 11-9 twice, blocking in, blocking in the checker on the 22 on 6s. Thomas still has that 4 or 9 to hit with. He doesn't get it. I think he's just going to have to play 13-10. unless there was some sort of cunning duplication. Oh no, that's... Ooh, I don't know why that took over that impulse. So that just makes the 10 point. Seb's a reasonably sized favourite. Oh, he wants to consider 24, 18, 16, 13. I wouldn't, just make the 10. So what's Thomas has cost himself some decent rolls here. That's fine because he gets to play 22, 18, 13, 11, gets a builder and a patroller on the outfield. Seb just wants a 6-5 and something like that. Not immediately obvious to me what you do with double 2. I think you have to shuffle. Okay, clearing the 10. I would have done a sort of 8-2, 4-2 jobby. 5-4, he just plays 18-9, I think. So he does the 4. Okay, can't fault that. Well, he gets more builders when he does the other thing. 5-1 just makes the 3, I think. But there's options. So Seb's still hanging on to a slight lead to take this match. 5-3 is, again, he should play 18-10. He's become very, very conservative in his old age. Don't know why he's doing that. Don't know, his computer doesn't make it green, but I just don't think that's the absolute right play. I think now Seb has to disengage, just play 13-3 twice, leave that back checker stranded, but bank the pips. He does it. Lovely. Thomas needs to think about like getting that checker primed. Okay, got to play 2 down. Got to play 2 down. But if he rolls like a 4, like a 6, maybe he has to slot the bar. Well, 6-5, 6-1 are going to make 5 points, so not on those 6s. But you get the message. 6-4, 6-3 also, not the bar. 6-5, 6-1 are going to make the 5 point. 6-2, yikes! I think you have to run. And the computer, I didn't look before I came up with it. So you just have to run because you can get missed. I believe he will. Yeah, he does. So there's a few misses. 6-3 is also going to hit. This is 29 minimum. What's that? 5-4. What, just spready? No. Okay, that's difficult. So now he could get punished for that. He doesn't. I guess you're just going to have to come in on the 23. It's a bold man that comes in on the 20 here. Okay, he's going to go for this. I didn't see that. That's a great play. That's a superb play. Never seeing that. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. 32 shots. That misses if that's double 6. It misses. What a play. What a play with the 5-2. Missing and disastrous. Like, such desolation when you miss with the double 6 there. Such desolation. 6-4 gets it safe. Not a winning race. Okay, sees it. Just want to stay back because now 6s have to come off the 18 point. Oh my God, he gets hit though. What's the point? I mean, you're not going to play 18-13, 18-12. Not with 15 seconds on the clock. But yeah, I can see it. You have to leave a double shot plus 1-6. Not happy about it. 2-1 hits twice. Amazing. And that's it. It's over. There's no way you can lose this. Everyone can, yeah, headphones come off. Simple. Makes the ace. I'm going to stop now. I think playing on little time is a massive a massive cost. The only time I really make very, very big blunders, not only time, but is when I'm low on time. You have to be a different beast to be able to play low on time. I don't think there's anyone in that's human that can play better when they're low on time. It's just too hard. Yeah, playing quickly, that's different. But playing quickly when you're having to play super fast and panicky, that's just not a good. It's not a good look. I've seen it so many times where people just screw up. So it's funny. I mean, I wouldn't even consider 28 seconds so deadly. I mean, but Thomas, there was a panic. Seb, there was certainly some little bit of panic. I don't know. You don't feel that you're going to make a mistake until you actually do it, and you're like, oh, shit, I could have done, or I don't know what to. You've come across a play that's like really like you don't know what to do, and you have to use like your bank. And then when you start to use your bank and you're ticking down, you don't really know. You're not conscious of how much bank time is going, which is why it can be very dangerous. It's fine if you can just use your delay time, which you can do for like maybe 95 and 100 moves. But when you get one of the 5 and 100 moves that you have to go into the bank for, unless you're going to just make a completely random move, then it's going to cost you. So you can't get low on time without that happening. There's always a chance. Chess champion Alexander said blaming. I don't get that. Said blaming mistakes on drivers is like blaming car accidents on being drunk while driving.
That was difficult.
It's almost the opposite, though, isn't it?
It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Or is it that? The metaphor is maybe I got it confused. But that's beautiful. Wonderful ends. Thomas got a bit tight. I don't know why. I don't think that's anything to do with time. He just did sort of, I don't know, he got a bit tight in the DMP. Bit strange. But a longish match. I mean, that 187 is going to count for a lot as far as the average is concerned. I'm going to be back. That was genuinely, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, do I have to continue commentating on it? That was lovely. It was beautiful. See you in a bit.
Okay, good. Match
Very
on.
good match.
Hi, handshake. And on to match 2. Already, little break. 5-4 splitting down. So 5-3. 5-2 hits back on the 2, I don't know. Maybe 24-22. 13-11 is very slightly better. Getting a builder. Can't see this. The other number, 2-6, obviously just comes out to the 18 point. Hits the clock, yeah. Lovely roll, rather, making the 5 point. He sees that you can make the 11. And sometimes it is maybe preferable to pass up the 5 for the 11 there. 6-6, but what do you do with the last? Okay, you just bring it down. Lovely play, and he didn't agonize over it at all. He knew it. 6-2 is going to hit from the 20 point. So one of the last objectives, get the checker from the 22 point moving. Thomas now comes back in. Now, should he? No, I guess he doesn't need to make the 21 point when he's got the 18. That doesn't make sense. So the last 2 is difficult. Or maybe this is a nice idea, but when you see that you can come off the 23 point for not much danger and not have to slot the point, which is also a bit dangerous. But anyway, moving on, 6-3. Can't duplicate anything really. So what, are we just going to play 12-3? I don't see anything else. Oh, we could play 12-6-8-5. And I just didn't see that you can play safe there because I guess I ruled it out. I didn't want to do it. I can't see. I thought it was 4-4, but it's not. 4-2. Well, the analysis has already come up, so... Seb's got 2s, he's got 3s, he covers with the 4-1. Thomas wants to, I suppose, roll a double 1 would be like absolutely amazing. 6-2, does he have to just come off the 23? No. It's a bit big. Coming off the 23, I suppose, would be right if you didn't have a blotting board. Well, I can understand this play for sure. Puts the checker where you want it. So the problem was that he didn't split from the 23 to start with, which is why he's got 2 checkers on the 23, which gives the impetus to try and leave with one of them. You don't want to stay behind the 8 point with 6s blocked. But of course, it's a bit too big to leave 2s and 3s for Seb and like 4s as well. I wasn't thinking of anything close to a double, but I'm still not. But what's the but? I mean, 4-4, yes. Okay, it is a double. Tiny. And knowing Seb, having played him a lot, it gets much bigger on plus, that he appreciates that doubles can be... You don't need to have much for an initial double, certainly. You just need to have 1 or 2 good numbers, maybe, and for the rest, not to be bad. Let's simplify it like that. So things like 4-4, well, 4-4 specifically is crushing, but 2-2 as well is very good. And it's not even close, actually, on plus. 6-3 is going to come out and hit. He's going to hit twice. I saw that the instant after I said he's going to come out and hit. But there you go. And the other good gain that you make from playing 8-2 is you get to shoot at that checker on the 3 point with 2s, which aren't going to be good for you on the other side of the ball. Well, they are. They make the 4 point, but you would need a 6 and a 4 to cover. This seems like the no complication play, the simple play. Yeah, it just puts it back in the wrong place. I don't think this is an easy play to make, but I think this is made correct by the the fact that the plot is there, but the structure of Thomas makes it difficult to see this being correct because the structure makes it painful to be hit back on. So which leans you against making this 8-2 play. But I think once you see the payoff, once you see the upside of it, you're more likely to make it, I think. We never like to leave 4 blots. He makes the play, no surprise. Double 3 is just enormous. So he gets to cover and hit if he wants to, and I don't see why he wouldn't do both. So the only problem he has to solve is the big stack on the 6 point. So he'd love a 1. He can't hope for double 2, but he'd love just a little 1. I suppose he really wants a 2 now because Thomas has come in. So he does get to hit, which is very important. Now he can choose to obviously come out or give himself a 5 to cover. It might be important to give himself a 5 to cover, which isn't useful on the other side of the board. So I think I would play 13-9. Not a big fan of not giving myself a cover there, but it's worked out. And I mean, ideally Seb wants a 5-2 just to be able to hit. Oh, there it is. There's your 5-2. And the closeout is reasonably close. Not when he rolls a 1, of course. Always the question is how likely is it that he'll make the anchor now? That Thomas will make the anchor having just rolled a 1 there. So he comes in with 3, and what do you do? Nice. So it was close between 18-16. I wasn't sure. There's very different kind of, well, you end up with a very different position if you play 13-11 as opposed to playing 18-16. But I suppose you're not too worried about the game turning around and you having all those blots hit, because still he's got 2 men on the bar. A lot has to happen before. And maybe you're actually less likely to get into trouble if you spread them in some sense. So every time Thomas rolls and doesn't roll a 1 or does roll a 1, it's absolutely massive. So I think you're looking to just get as many numbers as you can. Double 5 will cover from the 16 point. If you play 13-12, you get 6-5 as a cover. And what's the downside? Not that much. It's very hard to see how that... Okay, 1 is massive. And again, we're thinking that black is likely to make the anchor now. Seb has no immediate hitters. Do we play down to the 8 point to get 7s as hitters? We do, but it's not that much better than 16-11. No 1, so only 11s and 7s, and double 5, of course. There's a 7. Okay, I'm surprised at that play. It's judicious, to say the least, but I mean, I suppose because I was like, if he plays it 13-8, he's doing that because he wants the builder for the 1 point, and therefore he's going to hit with any 7. But he wasn't thinking along those lines. And I assume now he's got the checker on the 4 point and the checker on the 9 point. If he rolls a 9, he's going to hit. But Thomas does make the anchor, which is the turning point in the game. So what do you do here? I suppose you want to make the 9 point because you don't want all those blots. And then, yeah, I would have also played 18-16 just because visually. So Bill tells us Fernando up 2-0 against Oliver. Okay, I suppose it's a little bit of a surprise. A little bit. I mean, Fernando's no slouch for sure. 5-4, yeah, literally didn't see it. You can just bring 2 men in. So if Thomas doesn't roll a 6, then Seb's doing pretty well again. Well, he rolls a 5-2, it makes a 3 point, but Seb can maybe roll something like a 6-2. 6-1 will hit, 6-3 brings the checker out. 5-1 just plays to the 18, only leaving 1s and 9s and 11s and 6-3 hits, I think. We'll speak a bit too quickly, but reminds me of Fernando's 6-4 play where he didn't actually hit. But if you didn't see it, you won't know what I'm talking about. So a lot of danger for Thomas, actually. He's so happy to see that. And so what's going on here? Okay, doesn't think. I probably wouldn't myself either. But when you pick up the second checker, I mean, maybe we're getting towards a 50. I've lost my... What is going on here? Yeah, okay. That I was in the right sort of area. I mean, he's got 3 men back, but after you roll a 6, you play 13-8. No, I don't understand. Oh, okay. Calm down. Okay, but 13-8 didn't seem like a difficult play, and now White is crunching. So if Black makes the 7, well, if Black doesn't make the 7 point, 1-4 is going to be an immediate cracker, and so is 2-4. So we need to think about this. It is a redouble. I expect him to find it, because all he needs to do is see that if White rolls a 1-4 and a 2-4, then he has to play bar 24, 6-2, breaking up the 5-point board. And that's very bad. And even if that doesn't happen, Black has some extra time. But now that I see Thomas leaning back and folding his arms, it suggests that he's not initially sure why he might want to redouble this. So maybe he'll have another look and see something in the position that makes him want to... I love Casper's like re-whip clear. Okay, fine. Jesper says he'd pass this. I'm not sure which one he's referring to. Take decision very tough. And he's having a good old think. So yeah, you could roll something like 5-4, and even that's okay. So you prevent him from coming in, which is, I suppose, reasonably good. Even though the timing is, a bit suspect for Black because he needs to roll 2 6s. But then you cut down, of course, on the 2-4 that would come in and force the 6-2 play. But any 6 really, double 6 of course is amazing. Any 6, even like to roll something like 6-5. And I'm saying this and I'm thinking, well, I'm not coming out with a 6. I'm just going to make the bar. Is that not? Tell me I'm not going mad. I mean, of course you could make the 1 point with 6-5, but that just makes things difficult for you. You just want to make the bar, and I think looks like he's not going to cube. Eric says he'd pass 100%. I don't think the pass, personally, I wouldn't have trouble. Maybe I would, looking at just an instant again, but I think I would be happy taking this. I can get behind the recube decision being harder. Casper confirms, thank you. I mean, you're just happy to make the bar, very happy. Whether or not that translates into being like content to redouble, you're like very happy to make the bar. You know, of course, like double 3 makes the bar as well, and double 1. So you're displeased with 4-1, very displeased. 4-1, 3-1, 3-2, nasty rolls, 6 of them. Double 4 is nasty. But what else? 5-4. We considered 5-4, just makes the 2 point. It's not too bad. And then we haven't considered 5-3, which is a weird kind of bad, but not I'm not sure what I would do with it, in fact. Whether I would play 7-4 with the 3. Yeah, Bill says great pressure recoup, get so many passes. Maybe, but I don't think Thomas is thinking about that. He's just thinking about, is it a recoup or not? Simple. Does XG think this is a recoup? Yeah, 4-4 and 5-5 are the bad numbers. Yeah. So 4-4, 5-5, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. But 4-4 and 5-5 are completely different beasts to 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Sorry, not 2-1. 3-1, 4-1, 3-2. Five, you would have to hit lose. I don't see how you could pass up hitting lose. Okay, it eventually does get there. I just don't expect Seb to pass unless he's been kind of deedles into. Okay, 3-2. Mate, I said 3-2, but 3-2 obviously makes the bar. It was 3-1, 4-1, whatever. 2C, you can roll a 2-6. It happens. Now pressure to hit. He does hit. Is there any traction to playing 6-2? No, not really. I've got to admit, I would have played 10-6. Keep the checker on the 8 point. So still very double-edged. Well, he's got to do that and hit loose. So now he's converting into what he's going to still be able to win by breaking up the 6 point, making the ace. So he's still going to have time, and then he's going to have killed his own 5s, but that's terrible. Well, once he breaks the... Okay, Seb's having a little thing. So, yeah, it wasn't terrible. Obviously, it was good to cover, but in order to cover, he had to give up his spares so that when Black breaks his 6 point, it's not a redouble. Well, I'm just reading from the computer. When Black breaks his 6 point... he might not be able to hold the 5 point either. Now this you can sort of get tricked into. So he's only 51% favourite, but you notice that like it's not a very, very big mistake. I guess that's because if he loses, he goes 4-0 down and only has 24% match equity. But he hits the clock. I mean, I don't think he was going to cube. And now... better, but I don't feel it's a cube. It isn't quite, but it's close. Don't think he's going to recube this either. I don't know. It didn't feel like a recube to me, but it could be if he does. Okay, that's a great kind of. I think he understands that the score, the risk reward is so. You lose so much when you're 4-0 down. You might as well recube a little bit earlier. I think he knows that. Even though it does end up being a small mistake. So that just goes to the 3 point. So unfortunately, it's a short match. But it does matter who wins. You probably want to keep the 5 point board, I would say. But of course, 5-4 is going to be bad. 6-4 is not. 5-4 is the horror. So he gets a 6. He's 89%. What's that? Oh, he had to play 17-6. You see? Big roll. Oh! It cocked off the 6. It cocked. Oh, this is fine. Initially, it didn't look fine. How has Thomas played this? I can't remember. From one game to the next. Not many decisions, so it's not going to make that much difference to anything. But Thomas gets the... well, it is. He's going to get the match... He's going to get the match PR and the win. But there's a potential for this PR to change, I would say. A little bit. This is Jin. because it's +1. That means white can't win. So no point in playing on.
Good match. Well done.
Handshake, nice.
So we work from
Yeah, I like the recue. Didn't think he was going to do
I like
it.
to.
Small mistake. 4-0 down.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
know,
make any
but
difference
don't
really.
play Super Jackpot.
Either way, what you do, so you can just recube. Thomas made 2 mistakes. Well, they both lost the same amount of equity, but Thomas had more decisions, which is why his PR is slightly lower. But it could change. But that could be a big 2 points if Thomas wins it. Could be a big 2 points
Yeah, whenever, I don't know.
because, well, 2 points is 2 points.
Yeah, I'm not.
But you know,
I will
Bill agrees. This is one where the pairs might change a bit with the advanced analysis. Yeah, well, no decision, so it could very well change just a tiny little bit here and there. Could really alter it. Gaz says very difficult position. Do you mean the recube? Because I think it was as well. Bill says that was an elite take. Yeah. Interesting to see what other people would do in positions. Always curious. So for me, I think that the take was, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it's just never passing that is what I would, how I would do it there. The recube, oh, okay, we've got no more, that's it. Thank you for watching. We got to thank you for watching. Being booted out. I don't think he wants to know that much. He doesn't know what he's.
I was like, I mean,
Thank you,
I
F.
was like, I can't.
No?
I wish you didn't keep that.
UBC continues tomorrow. Boo.
I'd be very disappointed if you didn't queue.
It's like, please don't. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I could roll a 6 and he can also.
Okay, well that's it. Bye everyone.
But it's like.
Catch you tomorrow.
Play for the match is a 64% favourite.
I was sure that you would double what
Well, that was the plan, yeah. But he opened actually a little bit better, like 3-2. If it was worse, like, you know,
then it would snap a bit, right?
yeah, then it would be like a good read over. But this distribution is like